Hello, I'm the Brit.
I'm the wife.
This is our Polish life, our life in Poland from England.
In a Polish house, full of
Polish
Polish
house.
people and English people.
Yep. Aga left Poland to go to England when she was 18, come back to Poland after 23 years. I lived in the UK all my life and I've now been living in Poland for 6 months.
It's coming up to 6 months,
Coming up to 6 months. So how's it different? How is it different from England to Poland?
Oh, it is. It's a different country, different language, different traditions, completely different dynamic for us. Because when we were in England, it was just the two of us and the kids, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We've got lots of people around us. That mostly is a good thing, and we've really enjoyed their company and stuff. But you also exposed to lots of opinions and lots of judgments, and you've got people telling you what to do and how to do it and stuff, and it's just a very different life. What about
that was
you?
the thing. I think you hit the nail on the head in one. I think the main difference is when we was in England, no one...
We were.
When we were... I always say that. When we were in England, nobody told us, you've got to do this, you've got to do this, you can't say this because you're going to offend that one, you've got to be here for this. We just did it how we wanted to do it. And we had that kind of freedom just to sort of make our own mistakes and, you know, talk about our mistakes and overcome them together. Now there's a bit of a cooking pot of people with their own opinions, which, you know, is sometimes great because people do have good opinions, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the advices we get, mostly they're really, really good.
I mean, your mum saved us an absolute fortune on one of the houses, didn't she, with some advice she gave us. And we would have made that mistake here without her and spent a lot of money that we didn't need to make. So it's just different. It's just different. And it's something you have to think about if you are considering making that move, because people in Poland do have very different opinions and way of living and are very vocal about things, where in England maybe we're a little bit more reserved, we don't want to offend, we don't want to say too much.
Polite, overly polite sometimes.
Yeah, and sometimes I think English people don't say what's on their mind because of thinking, you know, oh, I might upset that person, I might offend them, so we keep it in, whereas Polish people are like, well, if I see something wrong, I'm going to say it.
No filter.
No filter. And that can be quite challenging to accept straight away because you're not used to it, for one, because you just haven't had people around you for a while talking like that, and for two, you know, sometimes you don't always agree, and it's like, how do you kind of cope with that? It's difficult, isn't it? It
depends on the situation you put yourself into. I think I mentioned the Facebook group Brits in Poland, which is really good. People often ask advices and they want to know what the process was and so on. And one question that I get to see the most is, how do people who have moved from the UK into Poland cope with them? There was 3 things I remember too. The first one was bureaucracy, all the paperwork, the processes. People telling you one thing, then you go back to them and they tell you something completely different. We had that with the car registration. I went there, I sat in the queue for an hour and a half the first time. They told me I need to have the papers translated by somebody, przysięgły tłumacz. On the thing, get the stamp. I went to do the stamp. Turned out that they didn't tell me about one more document. So another day I waited in the queue an hour and a half, didn't get anything because they forgot to tell me about that last document. Again, back to the translator, waiting for the stamp. Gonna have to go back an hour and a half, hoping it's all gonna be okay. But it just seems to be complicated. I think there was only like 2 or 3 occasions when we managed to get things done straight away and without the hassle. The second question people ask, how do you cope with Polish people's mentality, the negativity, the judgment, the opinions, the dirty looks that you get all the time and stuff. And in my opinion, I'm becoming opinionated as well. It is what you make. And I think you mentioned that if you treat people with the smile, if you're kind, you get that kindness back. But if you go in with the grumpy face and the door face, as we often say, that's exactly what you're gonna get. So I think a lot of it is your attitude. And would you say our attitude has changed since we got in here, or
I think to some extent we've become a little bit more selfish, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Just a tiny bit. I think in England we've always been giving people. We were always trying to give. We were always trying to help. And I'm not just saying this as you look at them, they're so kind or anything. We would give to the food bank. We'd always go to the shop. We'd always buy extra. We'd always put it in the food bank. If we had toys left over, they'd go out and we'd find people that needed them. We was always trying to give to other people. And we give without expectation, don't expect nothing back. And people in England seem generally grateful for things and was happy. Here, people seem to just want to take and take and take and not
without
give so
limit,
much back without any limit whatsoever. If you've got a finger to give, they're going to take your arm. And if they can...
Not all, some people.
Most people. It seems that way. And I am judging and maybe, yes, you're right.
You became opinionated.
Yeah, I'll become opinionated as well. But I have seen people just literally, and I'm very, very, very good at reading people's body language. I'm very good at reading people and working them out very quickly. And I can just see the way people take things here. And maybe it's just that they're not used to it. And it's almost like I'm going to grab that because they might change their mind and they're not used to it. I don't know.
I think a lot of it is also that the change in attitude. People are very firm and straightforward, no filter. So if you give something to somebody, they take it. Thank you, goodbye kind of thing.
Yeah.
English people, they just have this tendency to go on and on and on about how grateful they are. Oh, this is so beautiful. Thank you so much. I always wanted to have one of them. You're such a great guy. And then even like months and months later, they will say, oh, remember that thing that you gave me? That's just so amazing. And it makes you feel good about giving because people make it. And here you give something and you don't hear anything about it.
Yeah, or they'll bring it back. That doesn't work. Give me another one. Because there isn't, and I think that is the thing, isn't it? It's not people are greedy. It's not people are really, they're grabbing or anything. It's just that the filters are different.
Yeah.
The way of accepting something is very different. In England, we are sort of trained to be so grateful, so
overly
thankful, overly polite, and here it's almost like, boom, thank you, bye, gone, and it's like, oh, maybe that's makes them seem to me as ungrateful, but they're not. They're actually very grateful. They just have a different way of expressing it. And I kind of sometimes like that in many ways because there's no BS, is there? It's just like, that's the line. We're here, you're here, and we don't cross that. And it just kind of, we get on with it. And, if you're going to give it to me, you're just going to give it to me. That's great. Thank you very much. Bye. Whereas in England, if you're going to give it to me, I'm going to be so grateful and I'm going to tell you how thankful I am. And
I'm going to come for a coffee so that you know that I really appreciate it. And you think, no.
So it's just difference in people's way of living. Reactions. Yeah. That's a really good way.
That's how we react.
Yeah, it's how people react. And I suppose because you have been in England since you was 18, you was quite British in many of your ways, I think. You'd kind of led that life, and I never found you that harsh, I won't mention names, but there were some Polish people where we lived who was like, whoa, that you wouldn't mess with that woman.
Oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
You get the look, and it's like, ooh.
Terminator. Unbelievable. And there's a lot more obviously of that in Poland, and it is quite, it's just different.
I think it's a culture, like you say. Polish people in England are different to English people, and it's the same in here. What else would you say is different?
And one thing I just want to add to that before I go on is, if you are English and you're coming out here, just don't be offended by it. Don't be offended.
Because you can.
Yeah, if you allow yourself to get offended by it, you're going to get quite down, because they're not going to change, and you can't change them, and nor should you try to change them. It's their culture, it's their country, it's their way of living. Been living like that for many, many years. But if you come here and try to change them, you're going to hit a brick wall. If you come here and you get offended very easily, you're going to really, really struggle. I'm very lucky. I don't get offended. No. If I give someone something, like I say, I'm giving them with no expectation anyway. So if they just take it and go, what's the problem? I don't need someone to be saying, oh, thank you, Lee, thank you, Aga, you're so wonderful.
I think that's one thing that my mum always found really weird about English people, this over politeness and sugarcoating everything. You never say how things are. You always try to find a lovely little way to dress things up.
Dress it up, make it better than it is. And I can imagine Polish people coming over for the first time was like, I've given you this. Why are you standing there 10 minutes later telling me how wonderful it is? Why have you just not gone?
Go.
So there's no right or wrong way, is there? It's just how people are. And I think you get good and bad in any country, and the majority of people I found here are very nice and very good people.
I think it works the other way as well, because we have been given so much since we got to Poland, and I don't think Polish people like to hear how grateful you are. The other way, when they give you something, they just want to.
That's an interesting point. Maybe it makes them feel uncomfortable. Maybe they are the masters of giving without expectation, and it's just, I'm going to give you this, you take it, go.
Yeah.
And if you're standing there, thank you, it makes them feel
they
uncomfortable.
don't like it, because I've noticed that with my mom and dad.
They don't like
and even with my brother, it's like, dobra, jest okay, dobra, it's okay, and just completely change of
You're absolutely
subject.
right.
So
and
it's not just one way. I think it's both ways that is slightly different.
It's fascinating, isn't it? It really is fascinating. And until you actually live in amongst people, you don't really notice this too much. And it can seem very, very strange. And you can be thinking, what's their angle? Why are they like that? That's really rude. But it's not.
No, it's not.
We have to remember, as immigrants, we are the different ones. We are the ones that have to fit in with them, and we have to understand them, and we have to work out how to coexist. And talking about this actually is really good, because it makes me think, actually, when I've done that and I've walked them, that wasn't them being rude. That's just life. And why would you expect them to be any different?
No.
Just because I'm here. That's quite arrogant, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
In a way, so you just got to think about that. The other thing I noticed that's different, especially with me, I've never been covered in coal and soot and ash and smoke as much in my life.
Dirty.
I must stink of fire all the time.
It's so funny. I keep telling him that he turns into a Polish man because he used to have this really funny way of dressing. His best clothes he would wear when he stays at home, he doesn't go anywhere, and then he has to go out somewhere, dirty top, scruffy trousers.
Because someone always wants you to do something.
It would really annoy me, it would really get me. But now he's beginning to have that thing, okay, I'm going to make the fire downstairs in my kotłownia. I'll put the tracksuit bottoms, old t-shirt, and then I'm going to get changed.
You're right, Aga, because when I first came here, I lost it a few times, didn't I? Because you'd constantly tell me you've got to change.
He's got this cabinet with the brand new t-shirts, going out t-shirts. Removals, they have to carry the sofas, move the furniture, this no thing, whatever. He puts the best t-shirt on.
You want to look good, yeah?
And then we go out and he wears them scruffy little things. Yeah.
We're not going to war again, I promise you.
I actually made him a cabinet with the clothes to wear like every day around the house.
But we're here. I'm burning wood, I'm burning coal a lot. I've never done that in England. I'm chopping wood. I'm downstairs with my little axe and I'm bang, 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 putting it onto the fire. The smoke's coming out. I love it. I absolutely love it, don't I? I really adore it. And, I get covered in it. And sometimes I'm not used to, me, I'm shorts and t-shirt kind of guy. I'm not used to wearing gloves or things like that. So, I forget to put the gloves on. So I come up and my fingernails are dirty. Last night, Aga's mum and dad were over. Look, this afternoon, I've got the fire done. I didn't realise I'm black all down here. And Aga's mum's, Lee, oh, welcome to Poland, covered in coal. So that's a massive difference for me. In England, just flick the boiler up, the heating comes on, and we do have central heating here.
We've got gas heating.
But we like the natural, it makes you feel good. I just love it.
It hits better as well.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm really not. I enjoy it, I do. But I am conscious sometimes. I must smell of smoke.
Oh, you do.
Do I?
You stink of smoke.
Go out and probably stinking of smoke everywhere. But then a lot of people here will be stinking of smoke as well.
Yeah.
I probably don't notice it because I smell of it all the time. But it's just a little difference. And I think that's really nice. I love it. I love the fact that we can get a cellar full of wood that I can chop and we can just burn, and it creates fire and it creates heat, and it feels kind of like natural. a nice way of living. So that's lovely for me. The other change I've noticed is in my diet. The diet here is so much better.
Oh, I love the food, the Polish food. Home cooked. We hardly ever have a takeaway when we go out to eat something,
we have
because
pizza
the
every
home
now and again, don't we, with the kids?
made food is so nice and it's so good.
Aga and I, we did an audit in the UK once, and we worked out we were spending
over £1,000 a month.
Yeah, on takeaways and processed food. It was just
eating out.
It shocked us actually that we was eating out so much, and we were spending so much money, and we did cut it back. But here, no need to audit. No need to audit, because the food we buy is very fresh. Mostly organic food. We get eggs from the farm, don't we? And it's just lovely.
And at the weekend, Saturday, we were invited to my sister-in-law and my brother. She made a homemade sushi. It was just wonderful.
It was just almost like...
It was just really, really good. All fresh, all organic, really nice.
I've noticed that actually. Sushi is a big thing in Poland, isn't it? There's quite a lot of sushi restaurants in Poland. I mean, we live in a small town. There's 2 sushi places here. The Poles really do seem to like sushi. And am I allowed to say names, or was I not allowed to say names?
Well,
your sister-in-law.
My sister-in-law.
Yeah, my sister-in-law. I don't know if people feel about that, but it can be. That's another thing. Polish people can be very shy of the camera. They don't want to be on social media. They don't want to be talked about. I've done a few videos for TikTok and things like that. They will leave the room. Yeah. It's like, you knock yourself out, do your video, but we will not be in it. So I'm always a little bit conscious about talking about people. But Aga's sister-in-law, my sister-in-law as well, we made sushi. Unbelievable.
That was just lovely. I don't like sushi, but that one was just really nice.
And
really
I think
good.
the Polish people, they do put a lot of pride into their food, how they prepare the food, how it tastes, and how, for me particularly, how I eat it. I see your mum and dad watching me when I eat.
Does he like it? Food is such a big thing in Poland, isn't it?
Massive. And it's so underrated, because you never go anywhere and hear someone talking about the great Polish food, do you? You might hear people talking about Italian food or French food.
Or sushi,
Japanese food. You never hear anyone saying, Polish food is brilliant.
Because they're so used to it. They have it all the time, Polish people.
Polish people do, but you don't go abroad and hear people, come into my Polish restaurant. Very rarely. I'm sure there are Polish restaurants around, but, if I would go abroad, I would see an Italian restaurant, I'd see a French restaurant. They'd want to cook that kind of food to sell. Never Polish food. And for me, Polish food is amazing.
It's lovely.
I often... It makes me chuckle inside sometimes, because Aga's mum and dad will prepare a lovely meal, Polish traditional meal, and it gets put down, and I can see him kind of looking at me like, is he going to like it? Is he going to like it? And I'm very lucky. I like most things, don't I? And I eat it, and they're looking.
My dad must have asked you about 1 million times since he got here. How is that Polish food? Do you like the Polish food? Or he says, chyba smakuje mu te polskie jedzenie. Co, Aga? He says that all the time when he watches you eating. All the time. But one thing that is different, and that's if you're British and your spouse, your partner is Polish, and you're coming back to Poland, one thing you need to consider is the changes to the dynamic in the relationship. Because what I've noticed is, like, when we had the ding-dong in England, it was just us. And we just had to get on with it and stuff, and move on after about a week of not talking. When we have a ding-dong in here, I'm quite comfortable, because I just go off to my mom's and dad's. And you love the peace and quiet, because I'm not in your way.
And that's the thing, I'm quite comfortable, because I've always enjoyed my own company. I'm one of these people, I don't really need people. I do need Aga and I do need the kids, but outside of that, I'm very confident. I'm secure in my own company. I don't need lots of people around me. And I just get on with things, don't I? So you've got that outlet, you can go and to your mum, and I can just sit here in peace and quiet and have a lovely day. So it's not all bad. It's not all bad when we have an argument.
No, it's not.
It makes a difficult YouTube video when I'm just on my own.
You did well.
Yeah, did quite well. If you haven't seen that, this is the video.
He did not want me to come on.
No,
I was not happy with him. I was so annoyed with him. Like once every 3 to 6 months, every single thing that this man does annoys me. Like, really annoys me.
And I don't think that's too bad, is it? Every 3 to 6 months
No,
that
it's
we
not bad.
have a bit of an argument. I think that's pretty good. I think most relationships would settle for that. And I said last week, and I'll say it again, we don't lie about anything, do we? This is our life. If it's great, we'll tell you. If it's bad, we'll tell you. It's just how it is. And at the moment in Poland, I think it's great. I think it's absolutely great. I'm working out how to produce an income here. We're slowly getting some money coming in. We've got some properties on the go. That's going to be finished soon. We've fingers crossed got a first tenant which will move in soon as well, so that will help with paying the bills, etc. So there's always, where there's a will there's a way.
Yeah.
And I think if you're going to go abroad, you've got to expect it's going to be different, and you've got to fit in with that difference. You've got to work out how you accept that difference and how you deal with it and how you build your life here. And I've got used to the Polish people. I think they're used to me as well.
Oh, you blend in so well. We went to see my mom and dad on Saturday.
Yeah.
And they had some friends over, and my mom was, we literally left, and I was like, I bet you. They're all talking about you now, how you fit in and how lovely you are and how you're trying the Polish food and how you make so much effort. And I speak to my mom and dad every single morning. It's like religious thing that I do. And I found them the following morning. It's like, oh, they've been talking about that Lee of yours for so long. How lovely he is, how well he fits in, how friendly he is, how helpful he is.
And this is the tip I want to give you. Don't sit in your house hiding away. Get out there and get involved. You know, when we went to we got a lot of snow here, and we went there, and the guy who was there got his car stuck in the snow, didn't he? So we're trying to push him out. I've jumped in our car, I've drove home, I've got the shovel, I've come back, we're digging him out, we pushed him out, and I could have sat there high and mighty. It's nothing to do with me. You get on with it. I don't speak the language. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not going to get involved. But that would have got you nowhere. It would have literally got you nowhere. But if you get out there, you don't even know the language. You just try. You just make an effort. People are really accommodating of you. And I don't think that's just here in Poland. I think that's probably anywhere. Anywhere you choose to go in the world, just get involved, get out there and talk to people, meet people. And that's what we do, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, you know, we were saying this morning, when we was in England, we would walk through our town, everyone knew us, everyone would wave at us. We couldn't go 10 steps without someone talking to us and that. And slowly, we've only been in Poland 6 months, we're building that here as well,
Yeah, we
aren't
had a lady from school today. She
she's
waves at
waving,
us.
she's recognised the car, and we've not been here long. But
And we haven't got a fancy car either.
No. But we make an effort. We make an effort and we try, and that's all you can do. So I think you just have to accept people will be different. People will have different attitudes. They will have a different way of living their life. It might not be how you want to live your life or how you feel it should happen or people should be. But you just got to come to terms with that and get stuck in. And try not to change as well. You know, I think that's important. I don't want to change. You know, yes, I think we have become a little bit more selfish because we're a little bit more like...
Switched on.
Yeah, okay, should we be giving so much? You know, maybe we just hold on to a little bit here. But I don't
He had
think
a
that's a
go
bad
at me
thing.
last week that I'm just literally giving everything away. And I come downstairs and I say to him, I've just given this away. You don't mind, do you?
This is the
Thinking
thing.
that, why do you tell me after the fact that you already gave it to somebody?
I think we're just so used to giving. She just comes down, she says, I've just given so-and-so this, you don't mind, do you? Well, what's the point in actually...
It's done.
Yeah.
The damage is done.
Yeah,
And then it makes me feel bad.
You didn't say you don't mind. You said, is that okay? Or something like
yeah,
that.
is that okay?
I've just given this. Is that okay? It's like, you've already given it. It's irrelevant now, isn't it, if it's okay or not? Because you've not asked me. You've just given it.
I know.
But that's how it goes. She will give her heart and soul to anybody and anything. And we don't want to change, really,
No.
do we? And we want to stay... We want to keep our own identity, but we want to fit in with other people. And I think that's really the point I'm trying to make here. Keep your own identity. You don't have to change. They don't have to change. You just have to find a way to coexist. And if you can find that way and accept things for how they are, and go about things with a smile on your face, get stuck in, have a good attitude, good things will happen to you wherever you are in the world. And Poland is a fantastic place to live. It really is. It's wonderful here. I absolutely love it here. But I think if I'd have come in here with the attitude, that's not right, the bureaucracy is terrible, these people are all selfish, they're all miserable, I don't like this, I don't like that, people would have quickly shown me a different way of life here. But I've not done that. I've come in and accepted it, got stuck in.
You show interest as well. It's not just stucking in. You ask questions, you appreciate little things, and
I get excited about things. You know, I go to Beard Ronka and I work out how to buy carrots.
Marchewka. Nie marchewna, marchewka.
Which I thought was marchewka. And if I get a carrot, I'm like, I've got a carrot.
Oh, it's so funny.
I think people like it.
He learns to make them. I love the deals. And when there's a deal in the shop, I'm right in there trying to get it. And there was this other day when they had beer on sale, 12 plus 12. Or 6 plus 6, whatever it was.
Desperado.
Yeah, we could take up to 20. And we got to there, and he says, shall we go to a different Biedronka and use a different number?
I'm turning Polish.
That was just
but it
so
worked.
Funny. Yeah, so in his Kotłownia, he's got this secret stash of Desperados beer.
And that is one last thing I'll quickly cover because we're running out of time. But I think in England, it was very much a throwaway society, easy come, easy go, didn't really put much thought into things, wasn't thinking about saving money. We just got something, used it, chucked it away. In Poland, you recycle a lot, make it last. If this can go to this person, if we can use this, if we can get a deal here, we can get a deal there. And I'm getting a little bit more switched on to that. And I think it's quite nice because it makes the money stretch, it makes things go further, and the wastage here is a lot less than what it was in England, a lot less. People use things a lot more.
I hate wasting.
Yeah, I think most Polish people do. And I think a lot of English people, me, I certainly was guilty of it, was very just used to wasting things. We got it, boom, gone.
Yeah.
But here, you know, we got it. Okay, how can we use that until it's given up? Kind of thing, and we've got the most of our money's worth out of that little thing, and I think that's a good thing. I think that's a really good thing.
Even with the food wastage, we don't waste anything. We hardly waste any food, do we?
No.
I don't remember last time when we chucked something out.
No, it will go. Even yesterday, your mum's come round and there was food and you said, you're going to finish that? And I was like, no, okay. We scraped it, put it into a little Tupperware pot, gone home. She'll refry it. She'll make something else out of it. She'll expand it and it'll be another
My brother came
wonderful
over
meal.
and he's like, oh, are you hungry? I still have got some food left over from dinner. Yeah, go on then.
Yeah. And it's great. It's nice to have those family ties, and it's nice to have that sort of environment where people come together, help each other, and make the world go round, I guess.
I love having the family around, and I think that's what makes this whole move worthwhile. And I don't think I would want to move anywhere else than Poland now.
I'm very happy here, and I hope, and we hope, wherever you go, if you do decide to go, you'll be very happy wherever you go, and hopefully these videos help you make that decision, or if you're already abroad and you're struggling to fit in, help you come to terms with what you're experiencing and create a great life, because none of us go abroad for a worse life, do we? We all go abroad to make a better life, and you can do that too. See you next week.